I don't know if you saw this. Julie and I are looking at each other like, who's next? Good morning.
Good morning.
And turn to the person next to you and just say Happy Easter. We are so glad that you're here. It's just, I don't do this very often, but, once or twice a year, because it's kind of nice to say, yeah, there's something special about Easter. And we don't always even know exactly what it is, what it means, and especially in a movement like Unity, where we're trying to let in all different kinds of faith traditions. But I think it makes a great deal of sense to say, yeah, there's something special, and let's just take it in deeply and try and figure out what that kind of transformation means to each and every one of us. I'll let you know a couple of things. We have our prayer vessel right here. We've got a couple more just outside those doors, and if you'd like to put a prayer request in for yourself or for someone else, or a situation in your life, a situation in the world, we would love to have you do that, because it is a special sense of vulnerability when we open ourselves up to prayer. We also try and use our prayer chaplain program in this area of prayer. So could I have the prayer chaplains for today, Stan? Oh, okay. Thank you both. So one will be in my office right after the service, and there'll be another person in the meditation room. And if you haven't prayed with another person, there is something special about that, because it does tell us that whenever two or more are gathered in the name of spiritual consciousness, amazing things can happen. Would you join me in a moment of prayer? So first of all, let's just breathe. And let's give ourselves permission to be right here for the next hour or so. Spirit of God, thank you. You touch our lives in so many ways, we can hardly describe them all. You bless our lives. Somehow, even in times of great disappointment, there is a new awareness. There is a new acknowledgement of life in the greatest disappointments. And we say thank you for that too, God. And especially, we invite in the blessings for ourselves and for others on this Easter morning, because it is a time of great transfiguration, a time of great transformation. And we just say thanks, God. You touch our lives. And so it is. So it is. Amen.
Would you like to stand and sing with us? Good. We're going to sing Day by Day. It's fun.
See Easter. It feels like renewal and rebirth today, doesn't it? The sun is shining, it's all spring. So happy. I want to welcome you to Unity of North Idaho. I'm Tammy Savage. I'm your celebration assistant today. We want to welcome you to Unity Center of Spiritual Growth, where all people who wish to worship here are welcome. We strive to live love and uplift lives. We are an inclusive and affirming church. We bless people of all races, sexual orientations, colors, political beliefs, or anything else they or you may have been judged on in the past. We simply welcome everyone who wants to pursue their spiritual path. Let us introduce our musicians for today. Ta-da! They are the Unity Choir with Leanne Erlin, Julie Courteau. I've got Jim Turner on bass. Thank you. And back in the booth, we have Jim Sullenberger, Brian Wright, Zane Mood, and I'm your celebration assistant. We want to thank everybody who makes the Sunday service happen. We appreciate you all because it takes a lot of volunteers for a Sunday service, especially an Easter service. So thank you. If anybody here is for the first time today, we want to thank you for being here. We're glad to have you join us, and we hope you have a great time. We also have something for you. It's a welcome packet. If you want to raise your hand, one of our greeters will bring it by for you. We're all old. Okay. We also want to welcome you folks who may be here for the first time on live stream. You can let us know you're here by clicking on the Connect With Us tab on the website. You can submit your contact information, a prayer request, or a request for information by clicking on the link. It is available in the Synopsis tab in the website streaming window. Hopefully you all saw the announcements that were printed in your bulletin. We're not going to run through them today. I'm just going to have Dennis make one announcement.
Thanks, Tammy. On Easter, I like to not have many announcements, but I wanted you all to know this. To you who were close, Michael Moran passed away on Friday. Yeah, and so I just, it's kind of a bummer to say it on Easter, but I thought you should know. So, our best wishes to him. And if you would, just join me. Let's just close our eyes in a moment of silence for Michael. Thank you, God, and so it is. And by the way, if you just watched Michael as he was the temporary minister here for about a year, you may not have known this, but Michael was a huge name within the Unity movement. I mean, he was huge. He ran groups in India, founded an amazing church in Sacramento, and just a good guy too. So.
We're going to take a few minutes to meet and greet one another. I'm going to ring that gong when you guys have to return to your seats. So please say hi to your friends and meet somebody new too. Sorry, I had to go find the gong. Okay. Every Sunday, we have someone from the congregation read us a blessing before meditation, and the lucky one today is Kathy Ornelas.
Good morning. Good morning. Now, here's the situation. There will always be experiences, jobs, relationships, churches, tough mistakes you've made, and people in your life who block you from doing what you need to do, what you want to do, and from fully realizing who you are. And each of those are supposed to be there in your life until you finally get it, that every experience, every job, each financial challenge, all relationships, every church, each mistake, and every person are there so that you can learn from them. Everything is there to launch you forward into your Easter transformation. You've always been able to set yourself free. You just never believed it before. Well, on this Easter morning, it's finally time to believe it. You are the very stuff of stars. And so it is, God. So it is. Namaste.
So let's take a few minutes now in meditation. So I invite you to close your eyes if you like. if you want to put down anything that you might be holding so that you can give yourself permission to relax into the moment, that'd be good. So let's breathe. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in. And as we breathe in, we breathe in the breath of life. That breath of life, it's the most fundamental thing we have. It's the most fundamental thing we have for the human part of us. But for the soul and the spiritual consciousness, we breathe in the energy of the Spirit of God. And that energy is also within us, so it emerges from us. And Easter is a time of transformation. It is a time of moving from who we've been to what we will become. And we thrive on the energy of the Spirit of God deep inside of us. It moves us. It enlightens us. Somehow it opens doors to something better, to something grander. And as we walk through that door, it is the act of transformation. We are filled with that soft, vibrant energy of the Spirit of God, of the Spirit of transfiguration. And we are renewed. So let's take that gentleness. Let's take that awareness into the silence. And in that silence, we will breathe and we will be. And we just are in the silence. Spirit of God, touch me, fill me, give me the light of the Spirit of God to transform, to become what I am capable of becoming. And so it is, God. So it is. Namaste. Thank you. That was beautiful, guys. Thanks. Well, it's Easter, and so naturally I'm going to talk about Easter and transformation and transfiguration and renewal. But I thought something that we don't make as big a deal of in Unity, for whatever set of reasons, is just the Holy Week. Did you know that each day of the week has a particular name? So if you take a look up here, we have Palm Sunday, and that's the day of entry into Jerusalem for Jesus. He comes into cheering crowds. There's Holy Monday, and Holy Monday is when he goes and overturns all the money changers in the temple. And then Holy Tuesday is when he goes into deep prayer at the Mount of Olives. And then the next one, Spy Wednesday. Isn't that an interesting name? What we think is that Jesus rested on that day, but the reason it's called Spy Wednesday sometimes is because we think that's the day that Judas met with the Sanhedrin to betray Jesus. And then if you take a look at Maundy Thursday is the big one, right? Maundy Thursday is Jesus washing the feet of his disciples. It's the Last Supper. It's him traveling to the Garden of Gethsemane where he prays, but also where he's betrayed. And then Good Friday, of course, is the trial and the crucifixion. And then Holy Saturday is his time in the tomb. And then you have today, Easter Sunday. When he is resurrected. Anyway, I just wanted to mention each one of those because they're interesting. Each one has a little bit of history. It's nice to be aware of those things. But for this Easter, I got especially interested in. All right, there's tens of thousands of books written about Jesus and his ministry in the time leading up to his crucifixion. And there's tens of thousands of books written after he arises and the impact he has on the world and the creation of Christianity. But there's not much about those 3 days in the tomb. And so it's kind of like, so, I mean, what went on there? What had to have gone on there? And so I thought we'd take a few minutes to take a look at that. And even though I'm older, I was not actually there. But we can look at what had to take place. So, first of all, what happened to Jesus in the tomb? What must have happened? I would just start off by saying, was it myth or was it real? Did this man really arise and resurrect? And the answer is nobody knows for sure. Nobody can know. But what I will say is when we're asking that set of questions, we're asking the wrong set of questions. The more important set of questions is it a metaphor for our lives? Does it change us? Does it make us look at things within our own life and ask, how can I be more like that? How can I be more like that person who was in a time of great transformation? And I think that is so powerful for us today because aren't there challenges going on all the time? Aren't there people telling us who we should be and how we should think? And sometimes in our lives we said, okay. And other times we said, no, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm going to become who I'm going to become. I'm going to think the way that I'm going to think. I'm going to experience God and spirituality the way I experience God and spirituality. So if we look at that, and having said all that, certainly the resurrection is the most fundamental part of Christianity. I mean, so much of Christianity rests on that. And even though Christmas, gets a bigger deal and we spend more money and all that, I mean, Easter's the real deal, isn't it? Easter's where our belief system comes in. So I just let you know, I'll probably repeat this a couple more times, but this is just me, Dennis Ashley speaking, but I have no problems whatsoever with the miracles of Jesus. I mean, I think if we understood physics at a deep level, I think if we understood our spirituality and our soul consciousness, who knows what's possible? So I've never had any problem with the different kinds of miracles. And so I would say it's Easter. It's Easter. So let's give up our analytical, contrary mind and let's just enjoy it. It's pretty cool. Were there bunny rabbits with Easter baskets with Jesus? No, but enjoy it. It's fun. And it's a great teaching device, too. I think that's far more important. So all I know is whatever took place there for those 3 days in the tomb, it must have been an extraordinary kind of transformation. So how would this transformation work? I mean, first of all, we would have the death of the body, okay, and the Sabbath for the Jews went from Friday at 6 p.m. to Saturday at 6 p.m. So Jesus would have been resting in that tomb, and actually none of the treatment of the body could have taken place until after 6 p.m. I mean, that was the rules of the day. And so you've got this death, the treatment takes place, and so the physical body has ended. But then you have this soul consciousness arising, this soul or spirit remaining. And here's what I find interesting. Every faith in the world believes in that, except perhaps one. And so it makes sense that you could look at Christianity or the Islamic faith or Judaism. They would say, okay, yeah, the body dies and the spiritual consciousness arises, and you just get one shot at it. It's heaven or hell or purgatory. And then you've got the more Eastern faiths who are going to believe in the same thing. They're just going to say, when the body dies and the soul arises, you get multiple opportunities. And so you've got reincarnation, and so you'll have many, many times to try and come back again and perfect this life. Which one's right? Who knows? But and frankly, I don't think it matters. It's just, you just get to count the number of times, right? That's the only difference of opinion. Everybody thinks that this transformation happens. And so when we take a look at this, it is the process from moving from a human consciousness to a spiritual consciousness. And I think that's our role today. I mean, on this Easter, is to say, how can I take the parts of me, the human part of me with all the mistakes I've made and all the good things that I've done, and how do I transform from more of a human consciousness to more of a spiritual consciousness? And within this lifetime, we're going to do that many times, aren't we? We've already done it many times, haven't we? As we move deeper and deeper and deeper into our spiritual journeys. I think that the cocoon and the chrysalis actually give us some great information about what we could use about what had to have happened in those 3 days in the tomb. And so there's this great quote from Richard Bach: what the caterpillar calls the end of the world, Master calls a butterfly. And so we can see that in smaller ways. When we see the last child leave home, when we go through a divorce, when we lose a job that we've always really liked, when we have the death of a spouse or a parent or a child, it may seem like the end of the world. But what the caterpillar calls the end of the world, the Master calls a butterfly. In other words, yes, some terrible things can happen, some great changes can happen, but it sets the stage, doesn't it? It sets the stage for who and what we can become. How about you? What do you want to become? What does your soul tell you? What does your spirit tell you? How grand can you be? And I think the answer is it has no limits, none whatsoever. Now, if we take a look at the cocoon and the chrysalis, we all know that word cocoon. Chrysalis, not quite so common. So take notes. This is for trivia now. Okay. So the cocoon is for the caterpillar that's going to become a moth. The chrysalis is for the caterpillar that's going to become a butterfly. Ooh. And so what happens in that process is, let's take the caterpillar that's going to become a moth. What it does is it sheds its skin many times, as it's a caterpillar, and then on the last time it uses some glands to spin silk. Okay, and it forms a hard inner case inside. But the outside is really quite vulnerable. Okay, and so that's hard on the inside, soft on the outside. Okay, so that's the cocoon that's going to become a moth. Or that's the caterpillar that's going to become a moth. Caterpillar that's going to become a butterfly has, in a sense, just the reverse process. It also sheds its skin many times. But then what happens with the caterpillar that's going to become a butterfly, what it does is it keeps soft on the inside and forms a hard outer shell. So, this will be on the test later. Okay. So, cocoon, okay, hard on the inside, soft on the outside. Chrysalis, soft on the inside, hard on the outside. And what I would say is that Jesus, in his transformation, was quite literally in a chrysalis. Hard on the outside, right? I mean, you can't get any harder. He's in a rock tomb. You know, it is not, it's not a metaphor. That's what's happening. He's in this hard protective case, a rock tomb. And then you can't get much softer, right? In other words, this human consciousness inside the tomb, inside the chrysalis, is turning into this great vibrant energy. It's moving from Jesus the man to Jesus the Christ. It's moving from a human being to a spiritual consciousness. Now, with Jesus, probably better than anybody we've ever seen or known or heard about, right? But that transformation is not only open to each one of us, it's more than that. It's not just open to us, it is what we will do. We will change and we will transform and we will transfigure, we will renew. And I think we do that many times throughout our lives, don't we? I found a sign at home, the store. And it's hanging up in the meditation room. And it says, sometimes in life, we just have to reboot. I mean, ain't that the truth? You get an illness that you weren't expecting. You have a divorce that just came out of the blue. You have something that happened. You have a church, you say, it's no longer doing it for me, and you go someplace else. Yeah, sometimes in life we just have to reboot. And when we do, we're doing this transformation in part. Yeah, it may not be quite as grand as the one that Jesus went through, but it's just as significant, isn't it? It's just as significant for us. And so I'd like to see a show of hands. And when I ask for the show of hands, you get to look around, okay? So you can see how many hands are up, all right? How many people here have had a really rough change? And that could be a divorce, the loss of a job, you failed in college. I mean, I wasn't even done yet. Take a look. Okay, look around now. Look around. Yeah. What a great metaphor that the resurrection of Jesus provides for us. Where we say, yeah, let me just follow that pathway. Here's what I know for sure. That Jesus and you are on a voyage that bridges time. Time is a human-made construct. It doesn't exist. We invented it. You know what my proof is that we invented it? Because we say, here's time. Oh, wait, let's do daylight savings time. No, let's not. Or you can be in Indiana that says, no, we don't want to do it. Yeah. You're on a voyage that bridges time. And as your soul and your spirit grow, you're also on a voyage that bridges distance. Because there's no such thing as distance. Once again, just a human-made construct. And as you do that, what we discover is that not only do you transcend time, not only do you transcend space and distance, what we find is there are some inner ways of knowing, too, that you go through. I mean, first of all, you move from a place of duality to a place of non-duality. If you don't know that piece of jargon, that's duality is when you say it must be either this way or that way. There's no getting around it. It's either this or this. Choose. But when you resurrect for yourself, you get to a place where you say, no, it's not either this or that. They're the same thing if I just get enough perspective, if I just look. We move from a place of separation from the Spirit of God, to a place of wholeness. I mean, we start finding, of course, I've been taught, don't think too highly of myself. I've been taught that I shouldn't think all these big things that are possible for me. No, don't let that go to your ego. Don't let that go to your head. And in that act of transformation, what we find is, of course, we move from the sense of separation to the sense of wholeness, where the words, when we say we all are one, it's not just jargon. It's not a cliche. Instead, we get to grasp it that, of course, we just need a little bit more perspective to see that, of course, what you do affects me. What I do affects you. And what a great message for Easter that we need to live more in love, because we affect other people's lives and they affect us. We start blending this life, death, rebirth process. In a way, it's the same thing as saying that there's no separation. There's just sort of different, there's kind of different levels of existence, but that's more the human side of things. Yeah, when we get that perspective that grows, that's what's happening in our cocoon, in our chrysalis, in our tomb. That's what happens to say, of course, I'm starting to get it now. I get it just a little bit more. And here's the phrase that's so useful for us to practice. And the phrase is, now I see. Now I see how time's imaginary. Now I see how distance is illusory. Now I see how irrelevant the differences are between you and me. They're just tiny, tiny, tiny things. Yeah, so I hope when you leave today, after you've had cookies and donuts, I hope as you're walking out to your car, I hope you had practiced that one. Now I see. Because that's why we're here. That's what we're trying to learn. How we all are one. How what you do affects me and what I do affects you. And I don't know if the proper term is transformation or transfiguration or renewal. I think it's just what we want to emphasize, right? But I will say this, that what we're looking at when we change, when we transform, what we're looking at is a new way of being and a new way of knowing. One that is simultaneously filled with more love and yet at the same time more selfish. Because it's filled with more love and yet we finally say, but I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to be who I am and I'm going to be what I am. Because you know what? It's time. Yes, you've heard this before, but it's not a dress rehearsal. This is it. You know, and so glom onto your life and do what's deep inside of you. Manifest and express what's deep inside of you. That's what counts. We're here to be transformed. We're here to be transfigured. We're here to be renewed in 100 different ways. Our job is to become new again. Our job is to be transformed this Easter. Again, let me invite you one more time to close your eyes. And imagine that you're just going inside yourself. And just for a second here, imagine you are becoming something new, something extraordinary. What is it? What is it? And go ahead and open up your eyes again. And I just want you to know that in the book of John, Jesus says, all these things I do, you can do in greater. Think about that. Jesus is saying, hey, I'm not anybody special. I'm doing something special, but I'm not special. I'm not any different than you. Or put it another way, we are all special. We all have this extraordinary gift. And here's Jesus saying, don't worry, anything I do, you can do and greater. Become who you are. Become what you are. And I'll end with a quote, even though it's Easter. I'll end with a quote from the Buddha. Okay? And that quote is, we don't have to wait until we die. Each morning we are born again. And it's what we do today that counts. So it's what we do today that counts. Become like new. Become transfigured. Break out of your chrysalis. And understand that the Spirit of God is just bubbling up inside you saying, here we go. And that's right. Here we go. And just like the sign says, if not now, when? So it is. Namaste.
It's time for us to enter into the flow of love and blessings. This church has blessed so many. It sends so much love out into the world. It's time for you to be able to join that. And so with our prosperity blessing, Bill Murray. There he is. He's coming. Murphy. I'm sorry. Tammy, you have one job. Bill Murphy, come on up.
Well, he's a great comedian. What? We've reached that time of the service when we invite you to give of your financial blessings. So whether you are watching online or here with us in person, would you share your financial gifts with the church? It is important. This is the very day that the Spirit of God has made. Let's drink it in exactly as it is and be filled with joy about it. The Spirit of God pours into our hearts and kindles in our souls that very breath of God. On this Easter, we are honored to give to the church because we have been so blessed in our lives. The very energy of our soul emerges from us, and that vitality touches the minds and graces the hearts of every person we meet. We are transformed into something more. We are transfigured on this Easter morning. And so it is, God. So it is. Namaste.
Please feel free to sing along with us.
And the kids aren't coming in.
No kids today? Okay.
Would you, yeah, that's right, yeah. Would you join me in blessing these love offerings? So, Spirit of God, we do say thank you. You touch our hearts and our lives, our souls. We know that's important. And we thank you for the financial gifts because they're important. But we also understand that what's far more important is this ability to change and to transform, to go deep inside and become something even more grand than we ever imagined possible. It is the way of the world for each and every one of us. And so we say, thank you, God. Thank you, God, and so it is. Amen.
Amen.
Thanks. And I talked to Amber, so she's not going to have the kids come in today because she said they were going to be pretty busy. So, so let me just invite you to stand if you like and hold hands, and we will sing our peace song. And now, would you join me in the prayer for protection? Together? The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Amen. There's about 1,000 cookies down at the end of the hall. So go enjoy yourselves and have a happy Easter.